The first way, I want to call it the deal. So this is when we say, okay, of course I will take care of your happiness if then you will take care of my happiness as well. So then it comes a little bit to this thing of, well, I gave you so and so, now you owe me so and so in return. So if you've heard us speak before about Eros and you understood already this idea that it is the instinctual, the selfish, the agenda-driven that leads down into the sexual flow, and it is the selfless, no agenda, lots of love, conscious, present that goes into the Eros that uplifts, then the sentence sort of makes sense if you just hear it like that. Okay, my greatest happiness, the happiness of my beloved. Okay, it's clear. I'm supposed to love and be selfless and all of that. So it makes a whole lot of sense when you just hear it for the first time. And then nevertheless, something that I've encountered with lots of students that aim to apply it with a wonderful enthusiasm, but then sort of hit a certain limit when they actually bring this sentence into the bedroom. And that limit is usually given by, as I said, the twists and turns that the ego might add upon this beautiful sentence. Now, in general, if we want to categorize it a little bit, there are two ways that the ego tends to twist this sentence. The first way, I want to call it the deal. Go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, click
all the bells, everything.
The bells! This is quite typically how we are, let's say, a little bit brought up to think of things within society, which is that, okay, I'm going to, of course, address also the joys and happiness of my beloved in order to get something out of it. Yeah, so there's this idea of, well, I have to take care to get my needs met, which in itself is not wrong, but then I twist it into, well, therefore, I will sort of give a different spin to this little sentence so that I can, you know, in the end always have as my main concern that I get my needs met. So this is when we say, okay, of course I will take care of your happiness if then you will take care of my happiness as well. So then it comes a little bit to this thing of, well, I gave you so and so, now you owe me so and so in return. I gave you oral for an hour, what will you give me in return now? This attitude, it seems for most of us sort of like, yes, I mean, it's obvious, come on, it has to be a two-way street, it's a 50-50 thing, what are you talking about? It's understandable from the way that we are brought up and with the value system that we sort of have engraved into our heads. Yeah, it sort of makes sense. But it will not lead you to a soulful attitude towards your lover. Rather, it will bring you to this idea of keeping count. You owe me. I came 20 times to you. Why are you not coming to me? I gave you chocolate. Why are you not giving me chocolate? I made this gesture. Why you don't give me this gesture? I gave you 20 orgasms. Why are you not giving me anything that I want? I'm fulfilling all your erotic fantasies. Why are you not fulfilling mine? And the problem with that is, actually for the other, there's no problem. But for you, it will drag you into the mind. It will drag you into agenda. It will drag you into that part of you that will sort of say, passively say, that the other one should be active. Yeah, we'll take that sentence and we'll say, well, there it says, my happiness is your biggest happiness. So what are you doing? You don't want to be happy? Why are you not making me happy? Right? So it twists the whole thing around, even with a cute mask on top, trying to be like, well, yeah, of course, I give you everything, I will sacrifice all I am, I will give up all my limits, I will forgive you, I will love you, I will offer to you 10 times. The 11th time will be a problem. If this is something that you have encountered inside of you, this is probably what your ego tends to do. It tends to take these sort of principal ideas and twist them in a way to make a deal from them. A nice looking deal, where you look really good. Well, I did 10 times, I did the right thing. Why is the other one not coming around? Yeah. So this can be a first marker for you to understand whether or not your ego is currently involved in your interaction with your beloved. Is there a tendency to become passive by pointing towards the other to do the right thing? Well, you are not acting in accordance with principle. Why not? Right? But this shouldn't be the question. The question should be, am I currently acting in accordance with the principle? Or what am I giving right now? What do I feel right now to offer? And so forth. The first remedy for this deal making of the ego is, if you don't feel to do something, don't do it. If you don't feel to go down on your lover for an hour, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's very simple. If you don't feel to give them 20 orgasms, don't do it. If you feel because you want something, don't do it. As a principle, keep in mind that anything that you do with a personal interest, even if that personal interest seems to make a whole lot of sense, it will drag you down on the downward going escalator of sexuality. Even if you look very cute while you do it, even if it makes a ton of sense to all your friends and everybody around, this is the reality of it. You bring this ego agenda into it, it will immediately make you slide down on the escalator of sexuality. So very simple first guideline that you can follow. All right, let me check with myself. If I am now giving my lover super intense pleasure for an hour, will I be just okay to walk away from that and be happy? Will that fulfill me? Is that making me ecstatic? Or is there something in the back of my head that is saying, no, but they should? May that be, they should reward me by giving me pleasures as well. But it may also be for some of you, well, I want to have a ton of appreciation for that. Or if I'm pleasuring my lover in one way or another, then I want them to like it. And if they don't like it, then, well, this will be a problem. Yeah? So anything that is, well, I'm giving this in order to get something. Or if I have a certain thought of what should happen, and if that doesn't happen, then I'm upset and I have a problem and I have resentments and so forth. Very, very likely on this deal-making dimension of the ego. And then again, the first step out of it is, if you don't feel it just to purely do it, no matter what is going to happen, just don't. Just pause. Just take a moment. And we speak more about practical steps later, but I just wanted to associate a little remedy somehow to this problematic of the ego. The second way that the ego will tend to sort of hijack this sentence is by submission. And this submission attitude, it's sometimes even just becoming an extreme case of the deal making. And it's basically, it could either be, I will make my beloved at least seemingly happy by making myself unhappy. Yeah, so by, for example, not caring for my own needs, not caring for how I feel, not caring, I will just neglect and ignore myself, and that will hopefully make them happy. Or I will attend to what I think they would want. I would attend to what they superficially want. And I will please whatever seems to be obvious to be doing. Well, I got taught that in the movies, when you do a lap dance like that, that will just always hit the mark. Well, it might not in that moment. But if you're sort of thinking about what the other might want, and then you do it, and then typically you will do it again because you want something. Yeah, you will be pleasing in the hope that the other one will like you, appreciate you, maybe not be upset with you, think that you are a great lover, give you a whole lot of appreciation in that way. So here, there is an initial good impulse of saying, well, I do want to devote myself fully. I do want to let go of all limits. But then I do it forcefully. And I don't, for example, listen to boundaries that I might still have. Or I will sort of, just disregard whatever feeling might be arising inside of me, and maybe even suffer in the background, and just be like, yeah, look at me over here. I'm just always doing how everybody else likes it, and that's just me, and that's just my life, and in reality, I'm not ecstatically happy here, but sort of dwelling in this pleasing state that comes usually along with a bunch of resentment. Typically, this attitude will eventually flip into a deal. Yeah, so it is like an extension of the deal, you could say. So let's say it's like, okay, well, now I suffered for 20 years, now you owe me. Yeah, I find this in my psychology practice quite a lot with couples that have been together for a while, that one of the two will sort of be this over-functioning person that always feels screwed over, and then they didn't say anything for 20 years, but then comes the big blow up, and then comes the big payback and all of that. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.